Hello? Hello? So much for the do not call list. We have a few minutes. Hello? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just talking with that fellow who called just a second ago. Yes, sir. He was telling me about the FBI, talking about how many crimes were being committed right here around where I live. Yes, sir. It seems like just every few minutes, too. Well, yes, sir. I knew it was important because he told me do not hang up as soon as I answered the phone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, he told me you could, yes, sir, that you could fix me up with a free security system. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. I believe I do need one. But let me ask you something first. Does this security system have one of them panic buttons on it? Well, that's real important. Let me tell you why. My neighbors, George and Elizabeth, who live right down the road, well, now they're real good Christian people. Their yard's nice and clean and all, but they'd be the first ones to tell you. I'm sure they might drink a little bit too much every now and then. Well, a couple of weeks ago, they was out in their backyard having a few cocktails, and they got into conversation about who was the best shot. Well, yeah. Oh, excuse me a minute. My wife's cat's bothering me. Prince Charles, get out of here. Yeah, she loves English things, so she named that cat Prince Charles. Can you imagine it? So anyway, old George, he bets Elizabeth $5 that she can't shoot a beer can off his head with a 30-06 deer rifle. What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. Prince Charles, you got to get down, honey. I'm sure it did seem like a good idea at the time. So, yes, sir. He lets Elizabeth get. She said he had to get about 5 feet away because he didn't want her to miss by too much, especially not low, if you know what I mean. And oh, I forgot to tell you, George has one of them mackerel haircuts. You know, it looks like a flat top on the front of it, but then the back looks like a woman's hair. I'm sorry, what? That's right. It's called a mullet. I knew it was some kind of fish with an M in it. Well, anyhow, yeah, and it looks kind of like Prince Valiant in the cartoons. You remember him? His hair looked darn near like a woman's. Of course, nobody never teased him about it because he was pretty tough with that sword, let me tell you. Had that big old jewel in the handle of it. It looked like an eagle's claw or something hanging onto it. Yes, sir, buddy. He'd get to work with that thing. There wouldn't be nothing but teeth and fur and hair left over. Yes, sir. Well, anyhow, old George, he turns his back to Elizabeth because he said he didn't want any brass shavings coming off that thing when she lit it off and hit him in the face. And sure enough, she pops a cap and a big old tongue of flame come out the end of that 30-06 and it caught that mackerel haircut on fire. Yes, mullet. Yes, sir, the mullet haircut on fire. Well, old George, he starts running around the yard with his hair afire. And Elizabeth screaming, stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll. But George, he weren't stopping, nor dropping, nor rolling, let me tell you. And Elizabeth, she run in the house, and now they have a security system. It's got one of them panic buttons on it. She hit that panic button, and sure enough, here come the deputy sheriff and fire department. And they got old George wrestled down to the ground and put him out. Yes, sir. Well, he ain't got no mullet haircut no more. I'll guarantee you that. He's just got a big old blister on the back of his head. Yes, sir. Yeah. And the worst part was the deputy sheriff found the can, and sure enough, there's a hole right in the middle of it. That's right. And so not only does he not have his hair, he had to pay Elizabeth $5 because he lost the bet. Yes, sir. So anyway, that's why that panic button is so dang important. Yes, sir. Now, what is it I need to do? Well, I ain't got no credit card. Now, I know most people do, but I ain't got one. I used to, but I ain't got it anymore. No, well, I'll have to tell you the truth. It's because of a leprechaun that was living in my house. Hello? Hello? Dang, I wanted to tell you the leprechaun story. Next time.